And of course, you are welcome. The program is brought to you by Defendro Cough Expectorant. And of course, this afternoon, we've got a lot coming your way. You can join us via our social media handles on X Spaces, on YouTube, on Facebook, and of course, on myjoyonline.com. My name is Elton Broby. Now, this afternoon, the Electricity Company of Ghana is expected to brief Parliament's Energy Committee on a wide array of issues affecting its operations. The recent scandal of missing containers and the power outages are expected to take center stage after the Energy Minister yesterday, Thursday, painted a dark story of the sector. Let me take you live to the Peduasi Valley Resort and speak to our parliamentary correspondent, Kwaku Asante, who joins us via Zoom. Kwaku, you're welcome. So is this, probe, if you like, underway?
Not yet, Elton. In fact, the committee has spent the last 5 hours talking first to some of the very significant players in the power sector, the Power Authority first, and then the Water River Authority. They spent close to 5 hours behind closed doors in those meeting rooms just behind me. The meetings have concluded between those two organizations. It took nearly 5 hours, like I said. It started just around 10 o'clock a.m. with the Power Authority. Then we had Water River Authority officials also going in there. After about 5 hours, that meeting has concluded. ECG officials are expected to now go in there after lunch. Members of Parliament, together with other persons who have been involved in that meeting, are currently having lunch. With the office right to my left is currently housing officials of the Electricity Company of Ghana who are waiting so the chairman and other persons come. But as I speak, I'm just seeing chairman, and so I'll try and see if I can have a word with chairman briefly on joining. Chairman, for just a minute on joining news before we take leave of our chairman. This meeting that you are going into with the ECG, what are the key expectations?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, we are here to look at their work program and also tell us what their challenges and problems are. We know currently we have issues of power outages in the country. And one of the issues that we'll be discussing is how the extent to which this power outages is affecting us as a country, and what plans do they have to remedy the situation. Most of the people that we've spoken to so far, especially from the generation side and the transmission side, they do not have problems. It's rather the distribution side that has problems. So we'll be interrogating them and find out what their problems are. And then we'll be straight into the missing container issues as well.
Right. Thank you very much, Chairman. And Chairman is just getting ready to get into that meeting, which is expected to start any minute from now. We just walk in there where the meeting is going to happen. Like I told you, the first two meetings have all been behind closed doors, but we expect that this meeting, journalists will be allowed in. That is the kind of invitation the chairman has given us, and then we'll get some briefing early on about the generation side, like we had today. That is the Power Authority, Water River Authority. They came there, responded to questions about what exactly is this their rules to ensure that Ghana has sustainable energy and that customers do not suffer persistent power outages. And so they briefed the committee on that matter. The committee on the indication have gotten pretty satisfied with some of the answers they've gotten from that. But the big elephant in the room is the Electricity Company of Ghana, and a lot of the blame has been put on their doorstep as to they be the reason why Ghana's energy sector continuously pays prices, because they are unable to simply collect the revenue, the electricity itself. They're unable to raise the revenue. And that is why yesterday, John Jinapol, the Minister for Energy, did again re-emphasize and emphasize, like I just said, that they are really hell-bent on this privatization of ECG's revenue distribution side. So the fact that people go out there to collect revenue, they are unable to bring anything to ECG's coffers, they intend to privatize the side that goes out there to collect the money. John Mahama himself recently talking about enclave power that is in the free zone area. He said they've been able to collect nearly 95% of the power themselves. And he believes that is what the Electricity Company of Ghana should be doing. And so that is the big meeting that the Energy Committee is going to have with ECG officials. And we expect that we'll be in there with our cameras to capture exactly what the sentiments of the ECG is. Perhaps for the first time, we'll hear from ECG as to whether or not they are in support of these new plans that have been approved by cabinet. We already know that staff of ECG are not very happy with that idea. They say this is simply a ploy by the government to sell off the very juicy part of ECG to growing and friends to go and enjoy. That interview was done with you out there by the CEC Deputy Secretary General. And so all those concerns have been said. And any moment from now, when the meeting starts, we'll get to know what exactly the concerns will be.
And you say that this is an open, process for everybody to hear and listen what is happening.
That is the understanding we are getting. Yesterday, media were allowed to the opening ceremony where we heard from the minister direct. After that, all the other power players who were there, media were not allowed into the meeting room. This morning, they heard from very crucial and very important players in the sector. That is first the Wind Power Authority and the Water Authority. That was behind closed doors. But this one having to do with ECG, the indication we are getting from the chairman, and that's something we do directly, is that when they start, the journalists will be allowed to send in cameras and exactly capture what exactly is going on there. But there is a certain push from among ECG management, other persons, that perhaps certain details will be disclosed to the committee in the law ways that journalists will be there. Perhaps an opening ceremony of a sort where journalists will be there listening to that and then leave what they discuss to go to the good sensitive issues. But the chairman did give the word yesterday and today that the journalists will be allowed to go into this meeting and hear from ECG in terms of what exactly their challenges are and how they intend to turn things around to keep the lights on.
Well, so before I let you into the room, so this meeting is at the behest of the Energy Committee of Parliament, and I heard the chairman say that they are looking at the work plan of ECG, and I'm curious to know why, because the budget has been approved. Usually work plans are approved before the estimates are approved in Parliament. In this case, budget 2025 budget is already in session, and now the committee want to understand the work plan of ECG?
Yeah, I suspect he may have used a wrong terminology in there, because we know that prior to the 2025 budget being passed, ECG and all the other players did go into Parliament and actually provided Parliament with their work plan, or it fed into the 2025 budget that was approved. And so for him to still use the terminology work plan, that is a bit surprising going in there. But I think the meeting is just going to happen. Just behind me, you see ECG officials who are now walking into the committee room, the committee chairman, who came in there, just said that they said that he will come in there, provide guidance as to whether or not journalists will be allowed to get into this meeting to record the specific big issues that are concerned to everyone in the country, the recent power outages. But it would also be interesting to get to know, perhaps we did use the wrong word, the budget has been passed, why are we now considering what estimates, what plans and all that. When we allow them there, perhaps we'll get some answers to some of these lingering issues that have come up since this workshop of the Energy Committee of Parliament has been happening. Yes, since yesterday, they're expected to complete tomorrow with other private sector organizations like Imani, ASEP, expected to also be brought before the committee to share the ideas on how to fix Ghana's energy crisis. All
right, we'll allow you a go for now and then touch base with you when the meeting itself is ready, so that we can hear from ECG and the committee on what exactly the issues are regarding ECG's inability to operate at optimum level. But let me bring in Timothy Nyame from the Public Utilities Workers Union. He's the Deputy General Secretary. Mr. Nyame, good afternoon and welcome to the Pulse.
Good afternoon and good afternoon to your viewers.
Right, great to have you. So the Energy Committee is interested in knowing exactly the concerns, the challenges ECG is facing, and how best they can help ECG operate at optimum level, because bottom line, we want to see our light on 24/7. From where you sit, as you know, from the Public Utilities Workers Union, we've heard the minister, talk about ECG in sometimes not very complimentary words. But from the Workers Union point of view, what really is the issue with the ECG?
Thank you very much. The main problem is the public sector, the debt of the ECG. I'm sure that's the only thing that is trending. That the ECG is not able to pay what it bills. It's not able to pay its bills as it falls due. So for Parliamentary Committee to engage ECG management to know the issues, it does that. Though it is late, it is just a step in the right direction. So even before you go into bringing this private sector participation in the retail end, this engagement should have been done ahead. So I'm very optimistic that the issue will be laid bare with the members so that it will show that the inefficiency may not necessarily be self-inflicted, but it will be as a result of several factors. So day meeting management, they also have the first-hand information. But don't forget that we, the workers, or we have the worker have stated the position of the union when it comes to the problem of ECG and how to overcome it. And we just pray that the committee or government will listen to us and then put those measures in place that ECG be transformed. The issue of giving ECG to a private sector to operate, no, the most powerful entity is the government. So if government itself is not able to operate and you have to give to a private sector who doesn't have that muscle that they think it's a source of worry for the workers or for that matter, the union.
Right. So, Mr. Nyame, yes, I mean, government position on the way forward is clear on this particular matter. Government say that they will bring in the private sector to play a role in the operations of ECG. What they have agreed at cabinet, yet to perhaps put before Parliament or any other body, is to get a private concessionaire in this particular arrangement where the private sector is sold the power and he sells it, recover the revenue and pay ECG. This is the way government is going with this new drive to get ECG to operate more effectively. You have issues with it?
Yes, we have said time and again and on our position on this. And I am just very glad the minister has actually informed us that it's a process, it's a negotiation process. So I don't think it's the final position because we also have to prove to government that these certain things are resolvable. So as you are saying, it is not the final. We have been made aware that it is not the final position, though it has been sent to the cabinet. And we want to believe that it is not exhaustive. So we are also trying to engage government and, for that matter, the committee and the minister in seeing the best way option that will be to the benefit of Ghanaians and also the customers. Because we have outlined several issues to the attention of the minister, for that matter, the committee, that I think that they should see to its resolution. Then we can move forward from that. That just to instantly say that, because of this and that, you are coming to operate at the retail end. And as you may be aware, we have raised concern about the pricing of the IPPs at the top. And don't forget, the private sector dominate at the bulk power area. Then you come to the retail end and also come and operate at the private sector. Then don't forget the sovereignty of the nation. I mean, leaving the power, electricity or energy in the hands of private sector in the middle. Though when we buy bulk power, then you have operators in the retail end to come and also collect the money. It's something that we have seen before. So this thing is not something that we are actually allowing it to happen. We have to engage government to let them understand the reason why. They should put measures in place that will lure to effective revenue mobilization at the retail end and also negotiate the IPP pricing. We have raised our concern time and again about the pricing of the IPPs.
What is wrong with it?
Know that.
What is wrong with the pricing model of the IPPs?
Yes, comparatively of IPP pricing, IPP comparative with other African countries, the price is not competitive enough. One. Number two, there are certain conditions and clauses that initially were embedded in the purchase agreement, which over time need to be reviewed. And number three, the indexing of the price in the dollars. If not of recent that the dollar has moved down from 17 to 12 point something.
Right.
You can see that the exchange fluctuation that bedevil the company, that you have to go and collect CDs and come and convert them into dollars and then give it to the IPPs.
Right.
There are other conditions like take or pay that will produce 100 megawatts, whether ECG likes or not, you must pay for the 100 megawatts rather than billing them on the, let's say, 70 megawatts used. So these are some of the conditions. And they should actually look at how to do the pricing. But the condition that brought initial negotiation It's now different. So I think that it is time for us, for the industry players to look at the renegotiating of this entity, that we can get all competitive pricing. Then after the retail end operations, we have also outlined those issues that they should have. Of course, they have appointed the managing director, and just recently they have set up the board that the managing director and the board should be able to show the direction. So for that's why I'm very happy that the Parliamentary Select Committee is meeting.
Yeah, it's meeting on this matter.
Has been set up.
But the bottom line really is that, I mean, even in an environment where there's an agreement as to how much you are to collect and how much you are to pay to every player in the cash waterfall mechanism, ECG is unable to live up to expectation. Who are you going to blame in these circumstances?
Oh, my brother, what you are able to collect is what you are paying. And we are saying that when you give high pricing, when you price the power high, and you go and collect CDs, after collecting the CD, you come and convert it to dollars. How much will you get? So that's a major problem. That's why we are saying that at the bulk purchase area, they should look at the pricing. They should make it competitive. So that at least the pricing there will be okay. So that we have the value for money there, and also not make it into not denominate it into dollars. See, and also they shouldn't say that no matter the quantity or the volume of energy that is produced, ECG should pay for it, whether you use it or not. Those conditions are no more relevant. And I think that the industry players themselves, the IPP themselves, also should understand. And for me, I'm very happy that those clauses are reviewable. There are clauses that can be reviewable, and the time has come for us to renegotiate these clauses and make sure that they are reviewed.
They are reviewed. So, Mr. Nyame, the other matter that I just want to pick your minds on before, if you can cross over to the committee meeting to understand what really is going on, is the fact that government's position is that let us allow somebody to play a role, because clearly the retail sector is the part that is suffering. Currently, the recovery hovers around 64% of power sold. So there are so many issues that is bedeviling ECG's operation. But on the other side is the admission by the Energy Minister that state enterprises, state ministries, agencies, some of them are not even paying. And that is one of the areas that there's so much debt. What would be your proposal in addressing government-owned obligation to ECG that it is not meeting?
So it is a big relief when I heard Honorable Minister mention that the state institution should pay. Otherwise, we should disconnect them. And he has given us the go-ahead to do so. That any institution, that state institution that is not, does not pay should be disconnected. I'm sure that's the way to go, so that those institutions should put in their budget the pricing of power. That as every month they should be able to pay for the power. It's a very big relief, because it is part of the indebtedness that ECG is bedeviled with. So at the retail end, also, my brother, at the retail end, there are a lot of bottlenecks that we also line up to government. Look, when the meters that have been fixed at the conventional prices, ECG is not aware, and you have to configure these meters so that you can be able to read and bill. You know, we have shared meters that have been fixed in the communities. Right. And you go to check, they are not in the ECG system. So we are giving government, we are discussing with the community, we have told them what they should do. That these meters, though they are for government, they should be channeled through ECG so that they can be able to configure and give it to customers, so that we can be able to read the meters and bill. Some of the places there are 40 meters. Provision should be made, or provision should be given to them. Provision should be made for reinstallation of those meters. So these are some of the problems that are there, and they are solvable. You see, and look, when you have the managing director appointed by His Excellency, giving a clear roadmap, the board of directors appointed by His Excellency, that you can be able, the people should be given the mandate to actually direct the affairs of the organization. Okay, once the government give them that freedom, you can be able to operate. And you don't need a private hand. Government wields so much power that you can't say that you have a managing director and the government give you free hand, you are not able to deliver. The person doesn't need to stay there if he cannot deliver. That's all that we are demanding. And thank God we are in this discussion, and we think that we look at it that the government should be able to actually listen to us.
All right.
For instance, they have appointed the managing director who has shown a clear roadmap. He has quickly engaged the district managers and giving them targets, performance of which they will be rewarded, the fault of which they'll be sanctioned. And I'm sure when the board sits and they also start monitoring that activity. So from the top there, everything should fall in line. So you don't need anybody to come and operate there. You understand?
Right,
so
I do.
That, all this should be well monitored.
Let's leave it here for now. Mr. Timothy Nyame is Deputy General Secretary of POO, and POO is the Power Sector Workers Union. Now let's stay a little longer.